Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing one of the important factors about rights issue and discussing the factors कि why you should subscribe to the rights issue or sell the rights entitlement shares in a scenario where the current market price is higher than the issue price, and it is truly said that inaction in some of the thoughts or in some of the issues can lead to heavy losses for investors. So if you do not do anything, you'll be sitting on heavy losses. So everything about rights issues by companies in short. So rights issue is nothing. Let us look at the definition. It is an offering of rights to the existing shareholders of a company that gives them an opportunity to buy additional shares directly from the company at a discounted price rather than buying in the secondary market. So हिंदी में अगर कहें कि एक ऐसा इशू जहां पे ऑलरेडी जो शेयर होल्डर है उसे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी जाती है, मतलब मौका दिया जाता है और शेयर्स खरीदने के लिए सीधा कंपनी से डिस्काउंटेड प्राइस पर, मतलब डिस्काउंट किए हुए प्राइस से, रादर देन फ्रॉम द सेकेंडरी मार्केट, मतलब ओपन मार्केट से. सो व्हाट आर द इंटेंशंस ऑफ राइट्स इश्यूज? देखिए, टैक्सेशन के एंगल से अगर हम देखें तो राइट्स इशू इन अ सेंस एक तरह से एडिशनल कैपिटल, मतलब ज़्यादा पैसा उठाने का एक ज़रिया भी है. और आजकल कुछ कंपनीज राइट्स इशू के ज़रिए बोनस से भी थोड़ा अलग होने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. देखिए कि बोनस शेयर्स का एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट ज़ीरो होता है और राइट्स में आपको थोड़े पैसे देने पड़ते हैं और कैपिटल बढ़ जाता है. रादर देन एक चीज़ रहती है कि अर्निंग्स पर शेयर आते आगे जाके रिड्यूस भी हो जाएगा. सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो नेगेटिव फैक्टर व्हेन राइट्स इशूड एट लेसर प्राइस. सो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जानने के लिए, लेकिन एक चीज़ ज़रूर याद रखिए, कभी भी कोई भी कंपनी का राइट्स इशू आता है तो आपको इंटाइटलमेंट शेयर्स हमेशा मिलते हैं. अगर आप वो इंटाइटल्ड शेयर्स के बारे में कुछ नहीं करेंगे, या तो उसे बेच दीजिए या फिर आप वो राइट्स का पैसा भर दीजिए. पैसा भरना भी बहुत इजी है. जैसे आप आईपीओ के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं, वैसे जैसे ही आप आईपीओ के टैब में जाएंगे, ऑनलाइन अगर आप अप्लाई करते हैं या किसी ऐप से, वहाँ पे वो ऑप्शन दिया गया होता है राइट्स इशू का. वहाँ पे आपको जितने आर ई शेयर्स आपको क्रेडिट हुए होंगे उतने का ही आप पैसा भर दीजिए. देन this will be converted into ordinary shares as soon as the final installment is paid. So this is it. So rights issue में आगे बढ़ते हैं. क्या है चीज़ें और किस तरह से होता है इफेक्ट, वो हम देखते हैं. सो करना क्या है राइट्स आता है तो, अगर करंट मार्केट प्राइस और राइट्स इशू प्राइस बहुत डिफरेंस है तो या तो आप आर ई शेयर्स, जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया, राइट्स इंटाइटलमेंट शेयर्स जो कुछ ही समय के लिए लिस्टेड होते हैं, उसे बेच दीजिए, या आप राइट्स को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए. जो भी कंपनी पैसा मांग रही है वो भर दीजिए ऑनलाइन, जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया, एज इन आईपीओस, और पे द अलॉटमेंट अमाउंट और सब्सक्रिप्शन अमाउंट विद इन ड्यू डेट. कभी भी राइट्स इशू को लैप्स मत होने दीजिएगा, अदरवाइज, या आरई को लैप्स नहीं होने दीजिएगा. आरई एक इंटाइटलमेंट का ऑप्शन दिया जाता है. अगर आप कंपनी का पहले से ही निश्चित किया हुआ राइट्स एंटाइटलमेंट शेयर्स को आप सब्सक्राइब करना चाहते हैं तो आर ई शेयर्स आपके डिमेट में क्रेडिट तो हो जाएंगे, लेकिन जब तक आप वो सब्सक्रिप्शन का पैसा नहीं भरेंगे तब तक वो आर ई शेयर्स ऑर्डिनरी शेयर्स में कन्वर्ट नहीं होंगे. और अगर वो ऑप्शन लैप्स हो गया और आपने राइट्स बेचे भी नहीं या पैसे भी नहीं भरे तो आर ई एक्सटिंग्विश हो जाएंगे कंप्लीटली और एक बड़े लॉस में बैठे होंगे. सो अगर आप कोई एक्शन नहीं लेंगे तो बहुत बड़ा लॉस होगा. inaction would lead to extinguishment of RE shares after due date, right? तो ये एक चीज़ रहती है. और अगर आपने पूरा पैसा भरा होगा सब्सक्रिप्शन का तो RE शेयर्स कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे ऑर्डिनरी शेयर्स में. सो हम एक एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं कौन सी कंपनियां कैसे जाएंगी. सो एक डिफरेंस रहता है. अगर डिफरेंस करंट मार्केट प्राइस और राइट्स इशू प्राइस के का बहुत बड़ा है तो शेयर प्राइस ऑटोमेटिकली गिर जाएगा जिस दिन वो एक्स राइट्स ट्रेड करेगा. हम एक कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स देंगे, जैसे RSWM था, संदूर मैंगनीज था, श्री अजीत पल्प मिल्स और इंडिया बुल्स हाउसिंग का राइट्स इन दो कंपनीज का हाउसिंग का राइट्स इशू सब चल रहे हैं, राइट, दीज आर ऑन गोइंग। RSWM संदूर मैंगनीज बहुत पुराना था, ऐसे तो बहुत सारी कंपनीज के राइट्स इशू आते हैं, but this is just for educational purpose. We are not, this is not a recommendation or anything, just for educating the people कि भाई what should be done in rights issue, and let us look what is going on in these things. So first we'll discuss some of the contents of this. Now what it is going on, I have a simple slide here for you people. जैसे ये है किस कंपनी का, देखिए अजीत पेपर मिल्स का है, जिसका राइट्स इशू ओपन हुआ था 30 जनवरी 2024, अभी ही। लास्ट डेट ऑफ लिस्टिंग ऑन मार्केट रेनंसिएशन है 16। अभी आपके अकाउंट, if you are already a shareholder, आपके अकाउंट में पैसे क्रेडिट हुए होंगे, और क्लोजिंग डेट है 20 फरवरी का, राइट। एलिजिबल शेयर होल्डर्स आर रिक्वेस्टेड टू इंश्योर दैट रिनंसिएशन थ्रू ऑफ मार्केट राइट ट्रांसफर इज कंप्लीटेड इन सच द मैनर that the RE shares are credited to डिमेट अकाउंट ऑफ द रिनाउंसी ऑन और प्रायर द क्लोजिंग डेट। मतलब अगर आप रिनाउंस करना चाहते हैं तो ऐसे ट्रांसफ़र कीजिए ताकि जो सब्सक्राइब करना चाहता है उसके अकाउंट में पैसा जमा हो जाए। अब क्या है इसके टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस, 80 रुपीज़ पर शेयर का राइट्स इशू है, ऑन एप्लीकेशन आपको 48 भरने हैं, रेशियो है 2 शेयर्स फॉर एवरी 3 शेयर्स। अगर आपके पास 3 शेयर्स हैं तो 2 शेयर आपको राइट्स एंटाइटलमेंट आपके अकाउंट में ऑलरेडी क्रेडिट हो चुके होंगे। नाउ यू हैव टू पे 48 रुपीज़। अगर आप IPO के टैब में जाएंगे एंड देन यू विल सी दैट दीज आर देयर। And first and final call, as and when the company asks, you have to pay additional 32 rupees. So be very careful on track those things when the company is asking for 32 rupees. Right now the issue is open. Now what are the effects on the share price? Let us look at that first of all. So this was just a basic thing. So right now the share is trading at 231 rupees. If you are already a shareholder, you would have known that this share would have reached around 400-450 rupees, but it's nowhere to be seen on the charts. ये चार्ट्स में तो दिख ही नहीं रहा है। अगर आपने 28-29 तारीख का प्राइस आपको आइडिया होगा, देन इट वुड हैव बीन समथिंग अराउंड 380, 390, 400 के आसपास चला गया, बट इट्स नॉट हियर। सी दिस इज द प्राइस विच इज एडजस्टेड आफ्टर द राइट्स इशू, दैट द राइट्स इशू हैड बीन स्टार्टेड। So if you are already a shareholder, if you credited the RE shares, this price is after adjustment of rights and you are seeing it a higher price. But if you would have bought it on 28, you would have understood that you bought out 400, अचानक से price इतना कम कैसे हो गया है। So this is the reason that rights issue, and if you are a shareholder you would have got the rights entitlement जैसे ये वाला है। So these are listed right now, RE entitlement, the share price is trading at 144.15. If you don't want to subscribe and if you are being credited the RE shares in your Demat account, you can either sell it or pay the amount just as you this subscription amount, that is 48 rupees right now, and proceed for converting it into ordinary shares after the payment of this 32 rupees when the company asks for it. So this is the process. Or if you don't want these shares, sell these RE entitlement shares, keep these shares. So this is how this whole thing goes through. If you don't do anything and you let the rights entitlement lapse, you will be sitting on huge loss. So this is what the I've been repeating it quite a long time for all you people. So this is what you have to do as far as RE is concerned of any company. This is just for educational purpose because I can't recollect any existing RE at this point of time. So this is what has been done. Now looking into other fact, if you are not a shareholder of a company, do remember, if you are not a shareholder of a company and you want a part of the right shares, what you can do. So take any company, let us say take this company. If you want to get these shares rights entitlement, even if you are not a shareholder, what you have to do, first you buy whatever amount of shares you want to buy at this price, right, RE shares. Then if you want these right shares, not these ordinary shares, now at this point of time you buy these RE shares right now. Then what you do, an equal number of shares need to be applied through your IPO tab, where it will be showing the name of the company along with this thing. Subscribe to that number of shares which you have bought through rights entitlement, matlab these, okay, and pay the amount of 48 online. Wait when you receive the 32 rupees and then these shares will be converted into ordinary shares. Do remember, only buying these shares in the open market will not let you convert these into ordinary shares. You will have to compulsorily pay this amount of 48 through the app as an IPO or by filling the form through ASBA process. Only having these rights entitlement shares will not make you eligible for being entitled for the ordinary shares in future. I repeated it again. So if you buy only these shares and you don't pay this amount, that means you have renounced the RID shares and you'll be again sitting on a huge loss. So this is what a warning is for other people, that you have to pay this amount online through your app as if you are subscribing to the rights after you have bought this. And rights entitlement shares, if you do not take any action, then you will be penalized in a way that you will be losing the money. So this is what was about rights issue and simple knowledge on how this is going to be. So going by this, so these were also companies. So Ajit Pulp has completed. Now let us take another example of an existing company. India Bulls Housing Finance has come up with an highest issue at a price of around 150. So if you would have remembered, the share was trading few days back at 212, 213. It cannot be seen any here, right? Because it is adjusted pre to rights. Now at 214, 215 if you would have bought, you would have noticed it that after 2 days this stock actually saw a 20% 15-20% drop in a single day. This was adjustment for the rights. So rights issue of India Bulls Housing Finance is at 150 right now. Probably you'll have to pay 50 rupees, and when the company calls you have to pay the remaining 100 rupees. That might be this thing. So this is just for educational purpose. We are not I'm not recommending anything buy or sell on any equities, but this is just for education purpose, that whatever adjustments in price are made X rights price, you have to be very careful and be very alert. If RE shares are credited and you don't want to subscribe, sell those shares. If you do want to subscribe, then pay the amount whatever the company has asked for and become part of it. Same thing, I'll give you another example in the past, is RSWM. Now RSWM had a very big jump at some point of time. The stock had reached about 400 rupees few years back. So rights issue was at rights issue price. So it had issued rights in the year 23rd December 22 to Jan 6 2023 at a price of 100 per share when the stock was trading at 400 rupees. Now if you would have been an earlier shareholder, you would have remembered that this company, when they came out with the rights, the price corrected very sharply. If you would have not subscribed to the rights issue, you would today be sitting on huge losses. So be very careful. Either when you would have been credited with rights shares, RE shares, when it was trading, when the rights issue is open, you should have subscribed to it. आपको subscribe करना होता तो आपको सब्सक्राइब कर लिया होता, या राइट्स इंटाइटलमेंट शेयर्स उस समय पे बेच दिए होते. अगर आपने कुछ नहीं दिया होता तो राइट्स इंटाइटलमेंट शेयर्स एक्सटिंग्विश हो जाते हैं, राइट्स इश्यू जब खत्म हो जाता है. So inaction leads to huge losses. Today the ordinary shares are trading at 2828. अगर आपने 400 पे लेके अगर आपने इस शेयर का राइट्स के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं किया होता, आरई शेयर्स भी नहीं बेचे होते या सब्सक्रिप्शन अमाउंट नहीं भरा होता, तो आज आप 162 rupees के लॉस पे भी शायद बैठे होते. दिस इज नॉट वेरी सिंपल थिंग टू डू इन द मार्केट्स, और यू वुड हैव नोटिस्ड दैट व्हाई इज माय पोर्टफोलियो वैल्यू फॉलन, right? Same thing would be going for earlier prices like Sandur Manganese, and this is just for example. Now if the difference between the CMP and the rights issue price is low, then effect on share price is बहुत insignificant है. जैसे कि recent issue आया था Grasim का. Now Grasim के आपको recent issue याद होगा. Grasim gave a ratio of something around 6 shares against 179 shares, and the price was also about 1800 18 if I'm not sure. So 1812 is the price, right? That is what we discussed. Rights entitlement has 6 shares for 179 shares. One, the difference between the existing price and the rights price is very low, just 20%, plus the rights entitlement ratio is also very high. Against 179 you will only get 6 RE shares. So what happens over here, there was a correction, but the correction is not that big enough to affect the share price. So when the difference is very low between the CMP and the rights price, plus the RE shares are also very, entitlement shares are also very high, difference is also high in RE shares. So against 179 shares, if you're getting only 6 shares, then it won't affect the capital of the company. See, when rights issue our company, of any company issued, what happens is the share capital increases. So when the share capital increases, the number of shareholders, funds also increase, and the EPS ultimately reduces for the future, and that is the reason the share price falls. And when the difference is not that high than the CMP, company will not see much effect on its balance sheet. Same which happened with Grasim, the difference in share prices were not that high. Right, so this was an educational video about rights entitlement, what happens when the CMP and the rights issue price is very high, and what happens when the rights issue price and the CMP is very low. CMP difference is very low, and this was all about it. Thank you very much for a patient listening. Once again, we'll repeat that this is just for educational purpose, and how the whole rights things works, what are RE shares, ordinary shares, and everything. Thank you very much for a patient listening.